All right, so a couple hints for your homework. You're gonna have to graph polynomials, which isn't. I mean, the program works pretty well, I think, but I just wanted to show you real quick how to do that. So here's my function right here: f of x equals negative x cubed plus 5x squared. You'll have to graph these. This one's factorable, but you also have to do it by the way we did in class today. At the end of class, the factoring out the linear factors. Okay, so anyway, I got these following points. So you're going to need more than the zeros to graph these like we did in class. So I found a couple other points. So when I factor negative x cubed plus 5x squared, I get negative x squared factored out and times x minus 5. So that gives me my two zeros of 0, 0, multiplicity 2. So it's going to touch and touch the x-axis there, not cross it. And then a point of 5, 0. So I found these other 2 points which were in between those two zeros. 2, 12. I plug in 2, I should get output 12. Plug in 1, I should get output 4. So let's see if I got those right. Here's how you're going to have to graph it. You got a little graph here. So click on this, but you could attempt to graph it on this little one, but I'm going to hit this button to make it bigger. Makes it a lot easier. Okay, so click on the type of graph you want, which is this one, polynomial, and it wants me, it's the cubic tool, you'll see. So that should come up anytime you're dealing with a cubic. And they want 4 points. And all you need is 4 points and it should graph the graph that you want. So here's 0, 0, 1, 4, 2, 12. You'll notice up here it's giving you the point up in the right corner. So it's kind of hard to see, but you can use that as a guide. There's 212, and then my final 0 would be 5, 0. So it kind of figures out what the curve does as you plot the points. So you have to do less than you may have to do on paper, but you should check that the end behavior matches, right? This decreases from negative infinity to 0, and then it has that odd polynomial behavior with the leading coefficient negative. So after that, I'll click save, and then I will check my answer. I got it right. Okay, so that's not too bad. There's one more thing I want to show you in this homework. They don't give you the hints that I was giving you. So later on, how about not that one? This is just practice doing synthetic division. Here you go. So factor this guy. So this is a typical question that I'm asking you. Cubic polynomial. So what I'll need you to do is factor it and then graph it, right? So this question they're just asking you to factor it, but keep in mind that I'll ask you to graph these things, and that'll be a quiz question. Quiz question will be similar to this. Okay, so here's the problem. There's no hint, right? Where do you start? You need a place to start with this one. So what I would do then, I would just give you the hints, but remember this generates different problems for each student or each time you attempt it. So what I would do is click on help me solve this till I get that first hint. Okay, so we didn't use we didn't look at the possible zeros, but they'll tell you that, right? They'll tell you that in the help me solve this. So that's all you really need. You got plus 1 and 14. Okay, plus or minus 1. 14, and there might be another one, but what I could do is just use this question help to kind of find a place to start, right? So maybe I could test those 3 points, and that should help me, right? On the quiz, I will tell you maybe that -1 is a factor, or 14 is a factor, okay? But hopefully the hints will help, and if not, just send me an email and I'll give you one of the zeros. The other way to cheat a little bit is to graph it, and then you're looking at the zeros, right? So that kind of defeats the purpose, but at least you can do the work from there. You get 1 0 and then you can factor. Okay, so my point is the hints are missing. There's no way for me to give you a hint of that first 0. So you can try and get through that for help me solve this, or you can ask me and I'll give you a hint, or you can just graph it if you're familiar with graphing. Desmos.com is the application I use in class, and anytime it hits that x-axis, that's a 0. So that's a place to start with your long division. In class on the quiz, I'll give you a hint about for the first 0, somewhere to start. Okay? Hope that makes sense. Good luck.